My name is Nicky Maggz. I've been in the music industry now for about 13 years professionally as a rap artist. The things I love about music is, number one, it always lets me express myself. I'm not the easiest person to express myself really talking day to day, even with the closest ones, but music, I'm able to just go into a zone and just tell my truth there. So if anybody wants to know how I'm feeling, listen to my songs. Well, my journey in music, it's been a bunch of ups and downs, but I think that goes for, any artist, doing it for a long time, and you're just gonna have to learn from those little obstacles in the way. But some things that I wish I would have learned in the beginning, at least when it comes to, let's say, selling a sound. I knew what I wanted to do, but I think finding your sound is one of the most important things that you should have set as an artist, because you can always learn at some point that your target audience is this or that, but I think to reach your target audience, you have to figure out first like what your sound is. You're gonna go and try out a lot of different sounds put out, but I think aiming towards what is your sound is going to be one of the easiest or one of the best things you can do already from the beginning, so that you can start to already solidify that for the future. I think what holds a lot of people back is, of course, well, when it comes to music, money. Money holds you back. I think some of the biggest things are like, well, not being organized with your files, because as we all know as producers and artists, you'll have a whole hard drive full of the most random names of all. So I think staying organized definitely is a big important part of it. Even if you know what that file is, it's still good to keep it organized, so you know at least like, okay, this is gonna be coming out next. But also, I think, trusting, like, to depend on people, that is also, I think, something that you need to understand, that it's good if you can always network with everyone, but never become too dependable on somebody, because that can easily hold you back. Because I say, if you're like, in my case, I'm the artist, I never learned how to mix and master, record, or make cover art myself. I depend on other people for that. So in that sense, now I've learned that, like, okay, everyone has a service, I need to pay for that. But if you become too comfortable with somebody who you start with, sometimes you might be like, yeah, this guy's here forever. It's not the truth. That's not going to be, because it's not his purpose to live your journey. So just knowing that, keep yourself organized and don't become too dependent on anybody. I think those two factors are like some of the things that can hold you back like a lot in music. How music has changed from, at least like when I started till now, it's changed quite a bit. Mostly, I think the digital aspect of it, which is great, because I think that it's great that you can promote yourself so easily from online. But I think that aspect of, like, going out to a open mic or putting yourself out there to meet people, like, physically, and networking like that, that side of it has completely gone out the window, because everything is now kind of derived from, like, who's popping on TikTok. Like, all the social media is pretty much YouTube Reels, Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels. So it's just got more digital as these years have gone by, which is great, because again, more options to push yourself out there, stay, adaptable to whatever the new era brings. Some things that have helped me succeed, definitely networking has been one of the biggest things, because of course, in my case, I do English music in a country that doesn't speak, like, English is not the main language. So, to do how I've been doing, it's quite a challenge, but networking can help you get around a lot, because from networking I've got to know, obviously, let's say bar owners, festival organizers, cameramen, other producers. So, like, pretty much putting myself out there, in that sense, have helped me out to, gain, the popularity that I have gained, at least. Not the most popular, but whatever I have gained, I got from putting myself out there. And that's what's led me to, at least when I put my first album in 2021 out, independently, doing it in English in Finland, I ended up getting over 500,000 streams for it. So for me, I still took that as a big success in just for me myself being independent. But yeah, networking has been one of my biggest strong points, and has helped me to, well, still be here to this day, definitely. Some of the biggest differences working with major labels and being independent. Being independent obviously is a much harder route in that sense that, well, your budgeting is very limited, but your freedom to create and your freedom to put as much of yourself out there as you want to is unlimited. Whereas in a label, in a nutshell, they are the system, they're the computer. They can push you anywhere if they really need to. They are the money powerhouse. However, the moment you stop bringing them in the money that they first got you for, you can easily get the, I like to call it the shelving effect, where it's like you'll still be under contract with them, but they're not obliged to really, put anything behind you. And you can easily get pushed on a shelf, and sometimes finding release dates for your next song can go on. And I think both of them have their advantages for sure. I never have demonized labels. Labels can be very helpful and still are. Before jumping into a label, you should definitely have that time yourself to grow, learn, understand the industry itself a little bit. Have, get your feet wet a little bit. They're gonna get muddy. Understand the rights and wrongs, and then if an opportunity presents itself that a label comes to you after, a couple years of you learning and you have a big song, then I think it's much better than if you just pop out of nowhere as a first timer and instantly sign. You have no idea, so you don't really have any leverage or understanding of what you're signing. So that's what I'd say is the difference. Indie is always, I think, better to express yourself. Labels will definitely get you where you need to go, but you just have to understand what your goal is. I think that's the most important. Well, at least there has been a lot of messy things in this industry, of course, and I think I mentioned earlier before, obviously becoming dependent on people is one of the things that obviously shaped me into understanding at least how to conduct myself better as an artist and, as a business, as a product. But burning bridges is definitely something that's gonna happen, I think. And I would say one of the lessons that I had was that sometimes when you're in a room of people, let's say discussing whatever might be an event, I'm not gonna give the name, but let's say these are people who are a little bit higher up than you, and they're discussing these events and stuff. Sometimes, even if someone might be explaining to you something that you might know or you think or whatever, I think one of the biggest lessons I learned was to definitely, even if you know better, just keep your mouth shut and just nod your head and listen, because you can burn a bridge and that can lose, doors, for you. So definitely, that's something I had to learn the hard way. I think also when it comes to contractual ways of saying how situations can get messy, if you don't have, let's say, any verbal agreements on song releases or show dates or something, those can get messy as well, because you'll end up doing it, and sometimes if it's not written on paper anywhere, well, someone might feel not obliged to do it, and then from there that can lead into more problems and stuff. So yeah, from those burning bridges and from contractual mess ups, I definitely learned to be a whole lot better and smarter. The advice I would give to up and coming artists is that definitely before your first release, get yourself registered as a PRO user, because any chance of any royalties from the song coming in, just have it already set. It doesn't matter if it goes big or not, just have it set, because that will make the most importance in your career, because making money is important. Even if you don't make a lot of it in the beginning, you still have it set there. It's licensed, no one can steal it. So definitely set that up for yourself. And then number two, I would say that do your homework. Go listen to your favorite, whoever, producer, artist. Go look at interviews online on YouTube. There's multiple artists that you probably listen to that you've looked up to that give free game, pretty much free gems about their trials and tribulations of their journey. And from those, take what apply to you the best, listen, and use it in your own career. And thirdly, definitely make sure that any agreements that you have, contractual or verbal, get them written down somewhere, whether it's on your WhatsApp, your email, or on a piece of paper, it doesn't matter. Have all of those down somewhere because it will be a lifesaver. Issues that I've experienced myself with files and well, all the data that I've had with my own music is that I have been a victim of not organizing them and keeping them organized. So I think finding whatever solution fits you best, if that be, for instance, Vandal, keep your stuff organized. You won't lose a file, you won't lose yourself, and then, you won't go crazy thinking, like, let's say you name something one day, you're making 10 other projects, the next few weeks. Let's say there's that one project, you're like, damn, I don't remember, and then you're gonna go crazy not remember it because you didn't organize it properly. So organization, number one, definitely keep it down. When it comes especially to, like, if you name a song file just something random, or let's say having the correct, let's say composers or everything like that, I think having all of that stuff written the moment you get that file sent to you, or if you have the file to yourself, instantly just put everything already down there. So even if you're not ready to release that song or that project right now, in the future, if you ever get back to it, you have everything already written down there. You have the composers, who's the lyricist, the song name. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes of your time. One of my biggest problems is, like, when it comes to organization of, like, the files itself, and that has become, or that became actually a big problem. Like, when we had a show, I had about 5 different versions of the master, and only one of them was the right file to be played for the show. And I just caused myself extra stress because I didn't organize the main master. I had to, we had like 5-10 minutes before the show, and I had to sit there literally on Dropbox listening to each one, like, thoroughly, like which one was the one. So save yourself all of that extra stress by just organizing it. Choose the file, then add all the details. Again, it takes no more than 5 minutes of your time, and then you don't have to worry a lifetime of it, because when you go search for that file, wherever it might be, it's right there. It has all the info. That's one thing I like about Vandal, because me, in my experience, I've had, projects from, different producers, different artists, and a lot of times I keep my stuff between Google Drive and Dropbox, and, organization of those things can get kind of messy as well. So if I can find one place that I can just have it all, keep it organized, name it, keep it there, and not worry about it until I have to come back to it, Vandal is a pretty good option for that. That if you need to keep yourself organized, as I do, it helps me keep organized. And one of the coolest features about Vandal is that you can actually mark whatever that sound is, that specific file that you want to have as, let's say, the main version of that song is ready to go out. You can instantly just mark it on the website. So forever, no matter if you leave it 10 years, you go back to it, you'll know which one is the official file of that final master that you had to get ready to put out. So definitely shout out Vandal for that option. Google Drive and Dropbox, I haven't seen have that, so. Well, I'm not a producer myself, but again, I've worked alongside with many producers, and as an artist myself, I can just say, like, from the honest perspective, from my own perspective, when sending beats to artists, definitely don't expect to hear from that song probably ever again. Just don't expect it. Like, just, if you send it out, send it to multiple artists and just let it sit there. Number two, definitely put a tag on your beats, because I mean, I know people find ways to go around the tag and remake it, but always put a tag on your beat when you send it to an artist. It's different when you're sending beats and when you're creating something in the studio. Two different things, so I wouldn't treat those the same way. But if you're just sending out beats, yeah, to artists, definitely don't think you're ever gonna hear from them again. And number two, always put a tag on your beat, definitely. And actually, number three, put it on a beat selling website. So if an artist likes your beat, they have to anyways pay to get any sort of, you know, licensing version of it, so yeah. And in my experience, like at least when I did use WeTransfer, I mean, this is one of the reasons I stopped using it, is because the link expires after a certain amount of time. Another good thing about Vandal is that if you have a link there and you're sharing that link, it will never expire. So again, if you go back 5 months to that same link, it's still there. So music business red flags, definitely number one is that empty promises. You're gonna go out, drink with these label execs, show organizers, whatever. You're gonna see them, have meetings with them, have coffee with them. They're gonna talk a lot of hoopla, saying like, yo, we're gonna do this, and yeah, let's get this together. Just know that that's all talk, and until they get back to you, or let's say you hit them up, just take that as already a moment of like, yeah, it's an empty promise. It's not gonna happen. So that's a big red flag anyways. But again, can I say that that's like a red flag of like specifically one thing to look out for? No, because that goes for pretty much like all aspects, but those are one of the biggest red flags I would consider, at least myself. Another one would be if you do work with somebody new and they don't ask about the price, or what's your price, or you don't ask them about their price, big red flag. Always discuss about the price, because I think everything is negotiable, absolutely, but bring that up beforehand, because I think that builds some sort of respect and trust between people. But not asking about the price, I take it as a big red flag, because you don't know what that can lead you down to. I've been through that myself, never want to go through that again. So those are my two biggest ones. Empty promises and ask about the price. Well, I think some of my best experiences that I've had, you know, while doing this music career is obviously, well, when I released my first album, to see after I'd at that point been doing it like 8-9 years independently, to see me get over 500,000 streams for the whole album was definitely a big goal of mine, and that just showed that like years of hard work definitely was worth it. Alongside with that, definitely while promoting some of like the songs that are features that I did some of the biggest features of my life here in Finland with big artists, that songs that went over what, 1 million, 2 million, and from those songs I was able to go on big festival stages like Ruisrock, Blockfest, and you know, just perform. And being able to perform in front of these thousands of people, like that's almost like a dream. Like when you sit there and you're thinking about, damn, like what do I want to do with this music? Like you know what you want to see, you know how you want to get there. You don't know how it is, but then after doing all these years of work, and you're able to sit, like be there on that big stage, and to, you know, just you know, be able to rap your song to people, see some of the people just like sing that back, like, man, like those are those small moments, even if it's just for like few minutes, like those drive you for years. That you just need 10 minutes on that stage to make you feel like, this is all right, cool, all right, this is going the right direction. Let's keep it moving. Those moments I will forever be, you know, grateful of, because you can't recreate those kind of moments. Like touring, that you can't recreate those, man. Those have been some of the best moments of my life. And I toured in my 20s, so most of your average Joe Schmoes will never do a lot of stuff that I did in my 20s. So, you know, I'm happy to say that if I need to calm down in my 30s, 40s, I'm happy to say I did a lot in my 20s. So yeah, but I'm not slowing down, definitely. I'm still keeping it moving. So yeah, music can drive you to do a lot of good things, at least for me personally, so. My first impression of Vandal was a good one. Obviously, when it comes to, everything new, I'm gonna take my time, if it interests me in the slightest bit, to look at what it's about. I don't know, I got a secure feeling myself as like, okay, like thinking about where music and as artists and producers, us as a community, could go to, like looking for some place that can do everything for you is something that I think everybody would love to do. Because again, I'm sitting here, I'm using 5 different apps to get different kind of things done, like to look at my royalties, to distribute my music to like major social media websites, doing my TikToks, trying to find out different links to other, artists or producers through Instagram. I would love if everything could be in one place, and my impression of Vandal, of what it's trying to do and what it can be, I think definitely that is going to be the new leap into this new era. Like one of the coolest features definitely was that on Vandal was how easy it was to airdrop that specific file, like from the phone, and it instantly opened up on like the computer app of Vandal itself, and you saw the link instantly there. So that was really cool. I think also how easy it makes it to organize all of the files, as we touched upon earlier. I think Vandal, just thinking about, you can do this pretty much on any kind of app. I think the best thing about Vandal is like how it makes me feel like I would like to organize on it, because I have Dropbox, I have Drive, I could organize it on there. Something about the schematics of it doesn't make me want to, but when I look at Vandal, it makes me feel like I want to make it look good. Like, this seems professional. That's what, like, I honestly get that feel when I want to use it. So I think it's great that Vandal makes it easy if I wanted to organize it. Any files, make them zip, put them together, link to people, whatever's the song, mark whichever one's the main file, at least to focus at that moment. So I think Vandal makes file sharing and collaborations for any of us artists and producers a whole lot easier, because it promotes myself to become more organized, which means that it promotes me to become better. And any app that promotes me to become a better person is all right in my eyes. But really, it honestly does, man. It honestly does. So if I was to describe Vandal in a nutshell, I would literally say that if you're ready to become a more organized artist and take your, projects more seriously and make it a little bit more easier for you to collaborate, come join the future. Let's stop sticking in the past with messy files called like hotdog 22111 and 556 and whatever. Like, let's step into the future and be more organized, so that we can become more professional. That's how I would describe Vandal. If you're ready to take the next step into professionalism. I was blown away, like instantly. Like, when you sent the verification, or when you said how to sign up for it, I was thinking like, all right, cool. Well, I didn't think it was gonna take, again, like more than like a couple minutes, but to take a matter of just seconds makes a difference. I definitely think so. I'm a person who's like easily, like my mind just be like bored or something. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like I'm honest, but when we went over the app, like just how easy and how much it made me feel like I want to actually become like better on it. It was an honest truth. Like, I think it's a great thing. Like how you guys have the schematics built on it, how the color scheme and everything. I think that's what adds those kind of feelings. They almost feel like, at least for me, I felt like it was like I was playing like a video game. Like I like video games. So if I, feel like I'm doing something like a level here, like, yo, I can, make this file, boom, it's on this, all right, great, it's a level. Got to share it with my friends so we can tag team or whatever. So I felt really good about it. Like, honestly, that's how I feel about your guys' app, for real. It's really dope, man.